Hello everyone, it's SystemCollapse, and I'm back yet again playing Age of Engineering. And in between episodes, I did a fair amount, so let's take a look and get back to her. First off, up here, I set up matter transmitters and matter receivers and a dialing device. This is just our teleportation system. I have matter receivers in the end and the mining dimension. I'm going to be building in the end soon, but I can go here, click on base. This is the matter receiver up here. Down here is our, matter transmitter up here. These are our matter receivers. I can hit dial. I can go stand on this. It'll start the teleportation. And take a little second. Then boom. It'll load. Do its thing. And our blocks broke. That is the problem with this mod. Sometimes they break like this when you load up your pack. It's kind of weird. But anyway, I don't know if I have this chunk loaded. Do I? I should. Anyway, I'm going to chunk those through because I know I'm going to use them. Anyway, let's do that. Yeah, anyway, that's our teleportation system. I renamed them so they're easy to find in the dialing device. But I also made this too, the advanced charge porter. So there's the charge porter, then there's the advanced. You can shift right click. You can see your different destinations you can travel to. But say this wasn't here. I cleared that one. That one's gone. I can shift right click on a matter receiver. It'll add it back to the charger porter. And you can see here it's listed. And you can just set different ones. Teleport to whichever one you want. And, I'm just going to go back home right now. But it uses about, I don't know, about 100,000 RF per trip, I think. And yeah, good to go. So that is going to be how we teleport around and, you know, get around in this pack. So pretty cool, pretty easy, super easy setup. The other thing I did was fix this setup down here. Our circuit setup, I had a problem with it. So kind of go in here for a sec. Hopefully not break anything. That'd be wonderful. Excellent. What was happening, what the problem with it was, actually how I first noticed this was I was making those processors, 64K processors, which take a lot of circuits to make. What happens is when I queue up a big recipe, say something like those 64Ks, it drops off, you know, the redstone and the bronze. It goes in here and it starts adding the circuits. When the circuits get to the point where they fill up this inventory, it can get out of balance. So it would reach a point where it'd only have two of the kinds of circuits in there, and the third one couldn't get in because there was no open slot. So the way I fixed that was simply, first I moved it out of the floor just so I could do it easier. But I have it connected to an interface now instead of directly connected to the carpenter. It goes into a large storage crate. It comes from the large storage crate into the carpenter with an counting item filter with the exact amount of items that are needed. So it will not let more than 4 redstone ingots in here, 2 bronze ingots, and 1 of each circuit. If there's any more, it just sits in the large crate and waits to be moved. So that's how I fixed that. And it was an oversight when I made it, but it's fixed now. So that's the thing. And that's done. Anything else I do in between videos? I don't think so, except for, yeah, 2 other things. I built a little structure around all our water mills just so it wasn't as hideous. It's still not very much, but at least it's not as hideous. And I automated the separators. So the logarithm separator and the stone separator, they're super easy to automate. Just set them on an interface. You get a PA wrench side that you want to pull the items out of and back into the interface. So I just have conduits on the back, extracting and inserting back on the interface to complete the recipe. And yeah, super easy. I just wanted that for redstone ingots, enriched gold, and what was the last one? Rich gold, reinforced iron, just so I can make those things whenever I need to. And that's done. I have a bunch of stuff in our inventory. We're going to get to making the electrolyzer and the chemical reactor. We're actually going to do 1 electrolyzer and 3 chemical reactors. It's kind of the plan. I'll get that in a second. I just want to queue up some circuits because they're going to take a couple seconds. Let's do like 7 of those. Sure. Let's do 7 of those. Sure. I don't know if 7's the number, but I know we're going to use quite a few. So might as well get them queued up and going. So the way it works is the electrolyzer takes, well, let's look at the electrolyzer. You pipe water into it. It breaks it down to liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. That liquid oxygen can be used as oxygen for your spacesuit, so you can breathe in space. The liquid hydrogen can be used as fuel for your jetpack in space. But you can take that liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen and also put it in the chemical reactor, and it turns into rocket fuel. So we're going to be using it for all that stuff. We're going to be doing 3 chemical reactors, though, because this thing produces about 100 millibuckets of both oxygen and hydrogen per cycle. The chemical reactors only use 10 millibuckets per cycle. So 20 millibuckets of rocket fuel per cycle. So it's kind of out of balance, and you can support several with one machine. I could do more than that. I literally don't have enough chrome to just keep making the chemical reactors, because making rocket fuel is pretty slow. Anyway, there's our electrolyzer. Let's check out our chemical reactors. Chemical reactors. We should have everything. I think so. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. That's that. We're going to need a reservoir. So let's grab that puppy. Reservoir. There we go. And maybe some conduit. There we go. And some power conduit. And that should pretty much do it. I think everything else is in here. Oh, we're going to need some dye. I made a bunch of yellow dye, so we're just going to use that for other stuff we're going to do after we set this up. And I think that's everything we need. We got fluid buckets. Yeah, I think that's everything. So I guess we can head over to the mining dimension, because that's where we're going to set this all up. Set. Head over this way. Nope, I'm facing the wrong way. Let's grab our hollow projector. Let's go to the electrolyzer. Let's see here, electrolyzer. There we go. And we'll probably plop it down right around there. Might as well look at the whole thing. Let's clear out our inventory. Let's get as much of this stuff on here as we can. There we go. That looks pretty good. So we're going to need fluid output. Let's see here, fluid output. Bam, bam. Gonna need the actual electrolyzer. Bam. On the back, fluid input. There we go. Some structure blocks. Some power inputs. Whenever one of these machines has 2 power inputs, you need to put power on both. And I'll demonstrate that in a couple seconds here. If you don't, it doesn't work as well. And there you go. There's our multi-block. I'm going to get a reservoir in there real quick. There we go. Let's get rid of those. There we go. Put that there. Do. Guess we're going to need... Where's my flawless? There we go. A Yeta wrench. There we go. Let's just do that. Grab some water. Grab some more water. There we go. Let's grab this real quick and clean up our inventory, because we don't need that. We don't need that. Guess we still need everything. I have another one of those, my flawless anyway. Is that everything? I think so. We're just going to need a power cube, so let's grab one of those. Get a bunch of those in here. There we go, and there we go. Power cube I'm probably going to put up here just because I don't want it in the way. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess I could put it right here on the back. There we go. That's weird, the way that's kind of glitching in there. It looks like it's not connected. Anyway, put that there. I'll actually show you with just one so you can see what happens. Out. So now, if I click there, that one looks charged. That one's empty. But I go in here, it only ever half fills the bar. So you're definitely going to want to have both filled. The orbital mining laser actually has 6 of these, I think. 5 or 6. So take a lot. Should probably turn that on. It's going to start doing its cycles. Boop. And every time it does a cycle, get liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen. You can either pipe this out or put buckets in here. And the buckets will turn into tanks of it. So just kind of how it works. I'm going to just punch that. Grab this really quick. Throw you there, throw you there. We'll just set you both to extract. Because, well, that's the way I wanted. I don't even know why I broke the dirt. I don't need to. Don't have to with fluid pipes. Let's do that. I made ender tanks. Let's grab those. Where are those at? I'm probably looking right at them. I can never see them because they're always full of lava. Because I have the default channel set to lava. There we go. There we go. Gotta grab some of that dye. And I guess we'll put this one on the left and that one on the right. And that one's getting full of liquid hydrogen. That one's getting full of liquid oxygen. So that's exactly what we want. So that's fantastic. Let's go over here. Let's take a look at the electrolyzers. Not the electrolyzers, sorry. The chemical reactors. Put that there. Go up there. And we're going to set up 3 of these at once. Because, well, why not? So we're going to need motors. 1. Actually, let's do the power inputs so I can keep track of it easy. Power input. So it'll be boom, boom, space, space. Okay, now motors. There we go. Chemical reactor, gonna sit on top of those. Super simple. These machines aren't hard. Output, fluid output. There we go. And all these fluid out, there's also there's also an input hatch and output hatch on these things because they have a secondary use. Let's go to chemical reactor. Go to here. Go to use. There's an oxygen system for your space station to make it so you can have breathable air. And it uses these carbon collection cartridges. You can put them through here and clean them in the chemical reactor. Just, yeah, we'll get to that later on, though, when we actually have a space station. Just showing you what it's for. We need the output hatch. Throw that. And machine structures. You notice there's no blinking blocks in these ones, so you really have no options in how they're built. You just have to do it the way it's supposed to be done. Okay, no 3 in there. Bam. And we'll throw that there. And I guess we just need the rest of this, so pretty simple. Look at that. 3 of them set up just like that. Bam. Already done. Just punch them all. And we're good to go. We need to get power into these, so let's get underneath these, I guess. There we go. Making a mess. There we go. So do that, and that, and that. Let's grab another power cube. Grab this, throw that there. Grab one of them. Throw it down here. Set it to output. Throw a power cell card in. It's getting power now. And we're just going to power all the rest from beneath. Because, well, easiest way. There we go. And I guess we'll just replace our dirt. And throw away the rest of the dirt. Because I have tons of dirt and I don't need more. Although dirt is clay. There we go. And the transformer. So there we go. They're all set up. We just need to transfer all those liquids in there. So we'll get that done real quick. I guess boom, boom. We're just going to use ender tanks. It's the easiest way to do it. The way this will work too is it'll fill up one machine because it kind of prioritizes ender tanks in a set order. And it'll prioritize the tanks. So this one will get filled first. Then this one will get filled. Then this one will get filled. It's going to take a little while for it to get backlogged. And I'm not going to bother trying to do it evenly. It's literally not worth it. I probably lose out on half a bucket in the time, to be honest. I'll live. The time it would take me to do it evenly, I probably already get that half bucket. There we go. Let's guess this way, that way. Get these all done. There we go. I guess we just need to set these to extract. There we go. Come on. And there we go. This first one should already be producing. Well, no, actually they won't be producing anything because I haven't turned them on yet. There we go. Now this one, every time it goes up, we should get 20 millibuckets. There we go. 20 millibuckets. It uses 10 of the hydrogen, 10 of the oxygen, so you can support a lot of these machines, which isn't that big a deal because we do want a backlog, because we do need some for our oxygen tank, and we do need some for our jetpack, space jetpack. But yeah, those are set up. They're good to go. In time, they'll get backlogged. You can get your fluid out of this hatch here. I'm not going to worry about it this second, because we have lots. This holds 16, so there's 36 buckets. Plus, I can come and put buckets in here and hold more, or use some other method. I'll probably use an ender tank actually to move it, but that is cool. So that's completely set up now. That is our fuel setup, and it's going to take some time. It is not fast at all whatsoever. Yeah, it's going to take a while to get as much fuel as we need. Let's go here. Let's work on the next part here. Next thing I want to work on is the launch pad. Let's get to that. Here we go. I made a bunch of the yellow dye, not a big deal. We need to make concrete. Boop. Go to concrete. We'll use that recipe right there because we get more. Also in here, I made a jerry can. It's full of 10 buckets of water. Jerry can's from Immersive Engineering. It's really nice for liquid crafting. For any recipe that doesn't consume the bucket, you can use this. I love this thing. I always forget about it though. Take that, go here, and you can just keep using it. It'll drain a bucket every time, and it's pretty sweet. There we go. That should be enough. There we go. I want to make about 81. That's what I was thinking. 60s. Yeah, that's good enough. Excellent. I think we need one extra as well. I'll just convert them all. What? Uh-oh. I just remembered I need one more concrete. So I'll just make one more batch. There we go. There we go. That'll handle that. Okay. So let's go in here. Let's grab our 3. Yes, I know I have 2. I thought I lost it and decided to make another. Then I found it. Anyway. Let's just make our launch pad area. I'm going to save it to the ground. You don't need to, but that's how I'm doing it. I'm going to make mine a 9x9. You don't need a launch pad this big. But later on, this is going to be converted into our space station launch pad. So you want a little bigger one. So I figure I just might as well get it done now. Basically, we only need to get to the moon to get dilithium. Well, for 2 reasons. Dilithium, for one, you need to get to build your space station assembler. So it lets you build your space station. And 2, it's fuel for the warp core. So yeah, we need to get to the moon just so we can get dilithium. It's pretty much the only thing on the moon that there is. It's pretty much moon turf, I think. Maybe some sand and that. Maybe some other bits and bobs, but nothing much. So this is going to be our launch pad, so that's good to go. What do we need next? Oh yes, structure tower. Is that what it's called? Tower? This stuff. Yeah, structure tower. There we go. So we're going to need steel rods. I'm just thinking how much we need. I think I got those on craft, so let's do that. Here. Rod. Let's see here. Steel. Let's do 80. There we go. And then we can make this, and we'll convert them all into that. And the one thing to keep track of, well, not really track of, one thing to do when you're putting down these structure towers is, one, it has to be at same level as this. So one has to be touching it. Other than that, it only has to be as high as your rocket. I'm just doing some extras because, well, I'm not really worried about it. But that thing has to be at least as high as your rocket. If it's shorter than your rocket, the top part of your rocket won't get scanned when you go to assemble it. So make sure you do that. I guess next we'll work on the rocket itself. We might as well get that done. Let's look at the, what is it, engines? Let's see here, what do we need here? Titanium plates and steel. We have titanium plates on craft. There we go. I want to make 5 of them. Let's do that. I think we need 1 plate for something else. Is that working? Did I mess up my recipe? Okay, let's head back. Because it looks like I derped my recipe. Let's grab the charger porter. Let's throw it on the ground. Go there. Set. Take off. Go see what I did horribly wrong. Because obviously I did something. See here. Titanium. It's in the. Why is it in the compressor? Oy vey. Should be in the metal former. There we go. Is that going now? It is. Okay. Other than those, we're going to need the fuel tanks. Grab these. We're going to need more steel rods. We're going to do about 25 of these. You don't need 25 necessarily. Basically, when you scan it, it'll tell you whether or not you have enough. So you can try to build it minimal. Just do, you know, an engine or two and try to figure out how many fuel tanks and etc. etc. I'll show you when we get there, but won't take very long. Let's go here. But you can build a lot less. I'm just not doing it that way. Let's go to rods. We need more steel rods, right? That's what I'm doing. We need about 100 of these. Let's do that. And I don't know if I have enough steel plates. So let's just make more proactively. Do that. It's not like we don't use these things constantly. There we go. I don't know if that first recipe is done. It is. Let's go to our engines. Should be able to make all 5 of those now. Sweet. And let's see. How many of these can we make? 23. There we go. 25. Sweet. On top of that, we're going to need a seat. So let's make a seat. Oh, I don't know why I'm typing it in there. Let's grab a seat, which is a 3 wool. And the last thing we're going to need is the guidance computer. Oh, I totally forgot that. Okay, let's go back. Let's grab 4 eye of Ender. 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw that in there. And because we need to make these tracking circuits, and I forgot that. Do we have a titanium plate and a structure block? Do I have more structure blocks? I have 3. And do I have the titanium? I do. Okay, we'll need some redstone. Let's grab redstone. If I was a redstone. Need 4. And we'll head back now. Go back to the mining dimension. Set. Do the teleportants. Come here. We're going to need 4 of those. Throw 4 of those in there. Those in there and those in there. And that's going to make us the right kind of circuit that we need. Well, that's going though. We can build our rocket anyway. So let's do that. Let's see here. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And you can build it pretty much any shape you want. I'm just going to do it this way. I always build them this way for some reason. There we go. And the only thing we'll need on top of this to finish our rocket is literally that guidance computer. So we are going to have to get it done. I might wait on that last one so I could still jump up here when that's done. The seat is good. That's good. Let's throw those. Actually, let's do. Is that what that is? No. Let's go here because I know there's something else we need to make. Let's go to basic. Grab one of these because we need a planet ID chip. Not a satellite. How do you make the planet ID chip? I thought it was like that. Oh, yes. It's planet ID chip, satellite ID, and then to a planet ID chip. Okay. Planet ID chip is basically the chip that you use to set your destinations. So you're going to need one of those. It's going to go inside the guidance computer once it's done. How's that going? Only one done. Let's look at something else then. We need to make the assembly. Let's see here. The rocket assembly machine is what actually builds your rocket. So we're going to work on that, I guess. Take here. Boom. Bam. What do we need? A gear. We can handle that. Let's grab that. There's our rocket assembly. And we should be able to take that. Throw that puppy right there. And there we go. Get a rocket assembly machine. If I had power here, which I'm going to work on. Let's get that there. I'm going to have 2 more machines here, so I'm going to proactively just do that. And that. There we go. And then we're going to grab some power. Let's grab a power cell. Maybe one of those. Throw that right there. Set it to out. Give it a card. There we go. I can scan my rocket right now. It'll do this funky thing. Bring the, animation down. It scans it piece by piece. This one's going to come up telling me that it's wrong and incomplete. But that's expected. There we go. We can make our guidance computer now. There we go. But this thing basically, it basically tells you what you do or do not have enough of. If you don't have enough fuel tanks, it'll tell you. If you don't have enough thrust or for engines, it'll let you know. Right now it's telling me I'm missing the guidance computer, which I'm well aware of. Which is why I just built it. Come up here. Do that. Throw guidance computer on it. And a seat. We're going to scan it again. It's going to do its thing. Won't take very long. Throw ender conduit. Dirt. And done. Okay, sweet. How's our fuel doing anyway? Our fuel is at, we've got 3 buckets there. Is this one's finally getting the backup now. These ones are getting full. Why is that one full but this one not? That was kind of odd. That is actually really odd. Oh, because when I turned it, I must have turned it quick enough for this one to grab some of it. Anyway, it'll figure it out. But it multi-block now. This is a multi-block. You won't be able to scan it anymore. Actually, it's not a multi-block. Sorry. Scanned it. It told us everything's okay. Clear for liftoff. We can now build it. So you got to do it a second time. But if it tells you don't have enough fuel tanks, you just add more. If it tells you don't have enough, thrust, you got to add more engines. I don't think it ever tells you anything about acceleration. I think that's just thrust. Yeah. And weight, again, it would just tell you to add more engines. But it is good. And it'll multi-block. The texture will slightly change, very lightly, not a lot. But after that point, you can't just break the blocks. Oops. Now, if you want to make it so... Ooh, don't want to go to space yet. If you shift right click it, you get this menu here. If you want to be able to break the rocket again, you hit disassemble. Then you'd be able to scan it, change it, do whatever you want. But right now I can't do anything to it because it's multi-block. But you have here the guidance computer. You take your plant ID chip, throw that in there. Oops. I keep right clicking it. If you right click it, it puts you in the seat. And if you hit spacebar at that point and have fuel in it, it'll fly off. But going to go here. We're going to select the destination. I'm actually going to set it to Luna and hit select. So this thing's basically ready to go to the moon. It just needs fuel, which we don't have yet. And we won't be doing that today. But we're going to build a couple more things here. I want to get the fueling station. Yeah, one of these puppies. Let's take a look there. Going to need this, that, and this. Steel fan. Actually, throw that in there. I might not have enough structure blocks. My chrome's getting desperately low. I have 19. Ugh. Okay. Let's grab structure blocks. In between episodes, too, I'm probably going to upgrade our void miner so we can get some chrome a little quicker. I am desperately low on rubies. There's nothing I can do about it other than manually mine, and that is not something I want to do. And I'm totally distracted and clicking on everything wrong. We're actually going to need 3 of these anyway, so let's get them done. Come on. Finish. There's 1. Need 1 more. There we go. There's our fueling station. Gonna take that. Gonna throw that there. Gonna grab, what's it called? A linker? Go, not there. Go here. To here and to here. Bam. Got a linker. The way this works, it basically just links machines to rockets. So if I shift right click that, it says you program the linker with fueling station at, and it says coordinates. Then I can just right click the rocket. Now that fueling station is basically just linked to that. So if I put fuel into this, it'll actually fuel the rocket. So just a way to link them up. You can manually fuel it with right clicking or just with fuel tanks, but I like doing it this way. You also got to grab the monitoring station. There you go. And I did make some copper rods already because I knew I was going to need them. I looked at the use on them, and we're virtually not using it. I won't use their energy pipe. It's horrible. I use it in a pass pack. All their pipes are horrible. The satellite terminal, I think we don't need it. We might need that. I can't remember if we need satellite terminal. I'm trying to remember. I think we need the satellite terminal just to duplicate chips. That might be the only reason we need the satellite terminal. Because say if I lose that Planet ID chip, you can lose like it forever. You got to make new ones. It's more important with other chips, but you don't. It's really important with your space station ID chips, but we'll get to that later on. So I'll probably make one so I could duplicate chips. Let's go to... What was I looking at? Oh, rocket monitoring station. Okay, let's go make that real quick. There we go. Okay, we still need an optic. Probably need some more of those. There we go. And we can make those small batteries on Autocraft. So let's do that. I did not teach it that redstone equals a block. Yep, I need to teach it that recipe. So let's just make some redstone. Or Westonia, I should say. Not 100. Let's do 10. There we go. I need to teach my system. I'm just not going to do that right now. Let's go back to small. There we go. Once that's done, we'll have ourselves a rocket monitoring station. And this is not a necessary block. I'm just going to put that out there, but I like to have it. This is more important once you're launching unmanned rockets, but it also will tell you how fueled your rocket is. You can come up here, and I think a shift right click will tell you the fuel here, but you can't really tell from any of your machines. The fueling station doesn't even tell you how full it is, but this thing will. But also, when you're launching, like say your space station, this thing will tell you whether or not it actually got there. Because otherwise you don't really know, you just assume. So I'm going to link that to that. So that's linked to the rocket now. So our rocket is pretty much shut up. That is pretty much everything we need. The only thing we need now is fuel, and fuel is going to take time. It is slow, and that is why I did 3 setups. Because the fill mine is going to take quite a lot. I don't know how much these take. I think it might be about a bucket each, or it could be 3/4 of a bucket each. So it's going to take between 20 and 25 buckets to fill this. And okay, I think I'm going to end this one here. Right now we're waiting on fuel. There really isn't a lot we can do right now. In between episodes, I think I'm going to upgrade our Void Resource Miner and Void Ore Miner up to Tier 4, as well as our Solar. it's really just nether stars. I think I have around 180 of them anyway right now. Let's see here. Nether. I haven't been doing anything with them. And I could make a bunch more anytime I want. But I think I'm going to do that just so we get ruby a little quicker. Because chrome is kind of holding me back right now. And I already have a red lens on it. I need it quicker. It needs to be faster. Other than that, I think I probably build all the components for the arc furnace because we're going to need it probably by the end of next episode. And it's mostly just bricks and stuff. So I'll get that built up because we literally just need 8 ingots of this. 8 ingots of titanium iridium alloy. After that, I can tear down the arc furnace and never use it again. I'll probably just leave it standing there, but literally that's all we need it for. But anyway, I'm going to end this here. So as always, if you guys like this video, please hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. It's much appreciated. I want you guys all to have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.